Latest news. Yoo Yeon-seok, Chae Soo-bin's love story. Has there been any confirmation? What's really going on behind the scenes between Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin? Whispers of romance, stolen glances, and undeniable chemistry have everyone talking, but is it all just for the cameras, or is there something more? Join Red Carpet Revealed as we dive into the mystery and uncover the truth right now. Has there been any confirmation? That was the question that rippled across fan forums, news headlines, and whispered conversations the moment Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin wrapped up filming their drama together. Everyone watching could feel it, the way his eyes lingered on her a second too long, the way her laugh seemed brighter when he was around. The electric tension that radiated from every scene they shared. But was it all just exceptional acting? Or was there something real blooming behind the cameras? From the moment the first teaser of their drama aired, fans were hooked, not just by the plot, but by their undeniable chemistry. Yoo Yeon-seok, already beloved for his warm smile and depth as an actor, seemed to find a perfect counterpart in the radiant and effortlessly charming Chae Soo-bin. Every glance, every touch between them on screen felt authentic, almost intrusive to watch, as if viewers were witnessing something not scripted at all. Behind the scenes, whispers started to circulate. Staff members posted vague yet intriguing comments on social media. "It's not just acting with these two," one crew member hinted. Another said, every time the director yelled cut, they'd stay in character for a few more moments, smiling at each other before finally pulling away. These seemingly innocent observations only added fuel to the growing speculation. Then came the first set of behind-the-scenes photos leaked by a fan who had visited the filming location. In the pictures, Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin were caught sitting close together during a break, her head tilted slightly toward him as he whispered something that made her giggle. The way their bodies angled toward each other spoke volumes, intimate, comfortable, like two people sharing a secret no one else could understand. Fans went wild. Social media exploded with clips, screenshots, and edits, all analyzing their interactions to microscopic detail. "Look at the way he looks at her," one tweet declared alongside a gif of Yoo Yeon-seok staring at her with soft eyes. Another post zoomed in on their hands barely brushing during a scene, captioned, "Accident? Or something more?" The rumors only intensified when a journalist from a major entertainment outlet dropped an article titled, "Secret Meetings." Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin spotted outside filming together. The piece claimed the two had been seen leaving a restaurant late at night, trying to avoid being noticed by covering their faces. Though no clear pictures accompanied the article, the very idea that they'd been spending time together off-set sent fans and media outlets into a frenzy. In response, their respective agencies issued short, carefully worded statements. Yoo Yeon-seok's agency said, "The two actors have a close friendship as colleagues. Please respect their privacy." Chae Soo-bin's agency was even more curt. "They are simply co-stars." There is no truth to the dating rumors. But to fans, the denials felt more like standard PR damage control than genuine clarification. As the drama aired and reached its emotional climax, speculation reached fever pitch. Every interview, every press conference they attended together was dissected for clues. During one live-streamed event, a fan asked what their first impression of each other was. Yoo Yeon-seok smiled and said, "She was so lovely that I thought it would be hard to stay in character." Soo-bin blushed and ducked her head, sparking a wave of excited comments flooding the chat. Perhaps the most striking moment came during the final filming day. As the crew clapped and congratulated the cast, someone captured a short video of Yoo Yeon-seok gently tucking a stray strand of hair behind Soo-bin's ear before walking away. The video went viral overnight. Was this just fan service, two professionals giving the audience what they wanted? Or was it a rare glimpse of something more profound? Now, no one knew. But one thing was clear. This story was far from over. In the weeks following the drama's finale, rumors about Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin refused to die down. In fact, they grew louder. Eagle-eyed fans began spotting alleged evidence everywhere, matching bracelets, photos of them at the same cafe on different days, and even claims of them sharing the same stylist who subtly confirmed they were close. One tabloid published grainy paparazzi photos reportedly showing them arriving at an airport just minutes apart, wearing hats and masks. The accompanying article suggested they were traveling secretly together, perhaps for a short vacation. Others countered that it was pure coincidence. Fans hungry for confirmation, it was proof enough. On social media, hashtags like #Yeon-bin couple and #Yoo love story trended for days. Fan sites dedicated to both actors began collaborating, compiling evidence dossiers complete with side-by-side photos and timestamp screenshots. A particularly popular post compared their Instagram captions and concluded that they were posting cryptic messages to each other in code. The noise grew so loud that during a press conference for a new project, Yoo Yeon-seok was directly asked about the rumors. Smiling politely but firmly, he replied, "We're good colleagues who worked hard together. I'm grateful for the love the audience felt from our performances, but please don't misunderstand." Despite his measured response, fans noted how his ears turned red when he spoke about her. Chae Soo-bin, too, faced similar questions during an interview. When asked if she was dating him, laughed nervously and said, "I'm happy people thought we looked good together. Means we did our job well as actors." Yet her eyes darted away, and her hands fidgeted with the hem of her dress, a subtle sign that fueled more speculation. A few weeks later, a fan claimed to have seen them at a quiet seaside town, walking together at dusk. The fan described them as looking relaxed, occasionally holding hands and talking quietly. No photos emerged from this encounter, leading skeptics to dismiss it as fabrication, but for believers, it became another piece of the puzzle. Now, even non-fans were invested in the mystery. Entertainment reporters penned op-eds debating whether celebrities owed the public transparency about their private lives. Are we entitled to the truth? One columnist asked. Or is it enough that they gave us a story to dream about? For Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin, the constant scrutiny seemed to take its toll. Both were noticeably more guarded during appearances, and their social media activity became sporadic. Some fans worried they were deliberately keeping their distance to avoid further controversy, while others insisted that a true love would withstand even the harshest spotlight. Meanwhile, other actors who had worked with them offered cryptic comments. One co-star chuckled during an interview when asked about the two and simply said, "You'd have to ask them. But they did seem to get along really well." Another director, when questioned, winked and added, "Sometimes the best love stories are the ones we never hear about." In the absence of clear answers, fans filled the void with creativity, writing fan fiction, editing romantic videos, and sending gifts addressed to both of them. For many, the idea of their love story was bigger than reality. It became a fairy tale, a dream they desperately wanted to believe in. Months passed, the frenzy gradually subsided. Without new sightings or statements, attention shifted elsewhere. Yet for those who had followed this story from the beginning, the question still lingered: was it all just acting? Or was it a fleeting, fragile romance hidden beneath layers of denial and public pressure? Perhaps the truth was somewhere in between. Perhaps the most beautiful stories are those that remain a little mysterious, where every glance and every smile leaves just enough room for hope. Whatever the reality may be, the spark between Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin had already etched itself into the hearts of countless fans. Whether they were simply colleagues or something more, they had given the world a love story to talk about, to dream about, and to cherish. And as the lights dimmed and the cameras stopped rolling, the question remained, whispered in the quiet corners of the internet and spoken aloud in the hearts of admirers everywhere: has there been any confirmation? Or perhaps, some stories are meant to stay beautifully unanswered. As time went on, the question, has there been any confirmation, evolved from a desperate demand for answers into something softer, more reflective. Fans and observers began to realize that perhaps the magic of Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin's story lay precisely in its ambiguity. After all, it's the questions we can't quite answer that linger the longest in our minds. Occasionally, a fan would spot either of them alone in a cafe, headphones in, eyes distant, perhaps lost in thought about the other. Or maybe that was just wishful thinking. Sometimes, when either posted a cryptic line of poetry or sunset photo on Instagram, comments flooded in: is this about her? Or does he miss her? But the actors never replied. Then came the award season, Months after the drama's finale, both were nominated for Best Couple, and when they walked the red carpet, it felt like time had rewound. He wore a classic black tuxedo, looking calm but with that familiar twinkle in his eyes. He appeared in an ethereal gown, her smile radiant yet reserved. Cameras flashed wildly as they stood side by side, posing politely, but the tension between them was unmistakable. When the host playfully asked, "Would you like to say to each other tonight?" the audience collectively held its breath. Yoo Yeon-seok chuckled sideways at her, and said simply, "Thank you for being my best partner." Chae Soo-bin met his gaze, cheeks flushing just slightly as she replied, "I couldn't have done it without you." For a fleeting moment, felt as though the world had stopped spinning, as though the two of them were speaking in a language only they understood. That night, as they accepted the award together, their hands brushed, and the crowd erupted in cheers. Was it deliberate? Was it accidental? No one could say for sure. In the end, whether or not there was a private love story behind the public performances, they had already written something beautiful together, something that had touched millions, inspired countless theories, and reminded everyone watching of the bittersweet ache of first love. Some stories don't need to be confirmed to matter. Some connections are too delicate to name, existing in the quiet spaces between a glance and a smile, between what is said and what remains unsaid. So perhaps it doesn't really matter if we ever know the full truth, because in the hearts of their fans, in the collective memory of everyone who witnessed their on-screen and off-screen chemistry, Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin will always remain a little bit more than just colleagues. And as the lights fade and the curtain falls on this chapter, one thing remains certain: theirs was a love story, whether real or imagined, that will be talked about, dreamed about, and cherished for years to come. Sometimes, the most unforgettable stories are the ones that leave us wondering and